Hello everybody. This looks so silly. So I put on this outfit today as like my cozy Sunday at home kind of outfit. And then I thought actually this would look way cuter with like a gray cropped, like maybe a mock neck sweater. And then I remembered a couple years ago when I was in LA, I bought this giant remnant of this gray cable knit kind of sweater fabric. And I'm thinking of trying to turn this into what I'm envisioning in terms of this cropped sweater. So let's give it a try. I think I was subconsciously influenced to make this gray sweater by all of the gray outfits that I keep seeing on social media. I think in general, gray is going to be a very it color for 2024. So I think this tutorial is going to be very timely. So instead of developing an entire pattern for this sweater, I'm just going to use a couple of tops whose fit I like on me to determine what shapes I'm going to cut out of the gray fabric. For the overall length and the mock neck shape, I'm going to use this little shirt crop top. And for the sleeve length, I'm going to use this sweater. Okay, let's unfold the fabric and overlay these tops and try to cut out the shape that I need. So I unfolded the giant roll of fabric and I folded it over along the warp direction of the fabric. So the warp is the long direction of the fabric. It goes parallel to the selvage. And I folded it over wide enough to accommodate my top that I'm going to be mimicking, also folded over in half. And then using my chalk markers, I traced along just the bodice part of the top, kind of picking up the neck and the sleeve and just tracing only the bodice section, leaving a little bit of a seam allowance. Then I put some pins in to hold the fabric in place, and then I cut it out. To cut out the second bodice piece, I allocated another segment of the folded fabric, and I used my first bodice cutout as a template for the second bodice piece. And this time I didn't trace the pattern with the chalk, I just overlaid my first piece, pinned it, and cut around its perimeter. After separating the two bodice pieces, I turned one of them into the front bodice piece by deepening the armhole a little bit and by deepening the neck hole. And I used my pattern top to estimate approximately how much I needed to cut out. Next, I folded over the already folded fabric to cut out a rectangle that will serve as the mock neck. And I again used my pattern top to approximate how much I'm going to need. Initially just kind of marked it with chalk, and then I used a ruler to tidy it up. Then I pinned the fabric so that it stays together and I cut it out. The last two things I'm going to need to cut out are the sleeves. So I started with a folded over fabric, again along the selvage, and I started by tracing my pattern top along the armhole, the sleeve part this time. Then I matched up the long sleeve top along the armhole, and I marked with chalk along its length. Again, leaving a little bit of a seam allowance and a little bit for the hemming on the end. Then put some pins in to keep the fabric nicely folded and cut it out. Then I folded over some more fabric, again along the warp direction, which is the long edge of the fabric, and I used my first sleeve cutout as a pattern for the second sleeve. I pinned them together and I cut out the second sleeve piece by tracing along the perimeter of the first sleeve cutout that I overlaid. I unpinned them and I folded them out, and then I put one on top of the other such that their inverse sides are facing each other, and I pinned them together. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to desymmetrize them a little bit so that one side of the sleeve can be the front side of the sleeve. So I'm going to begin the sewing process by hemming the sleeves, and I first mark how much I'm going to hem. To hem the sleeves, I'm going to use my cover stitch machine, and I'm going to sew over the top so that the raw edge on the bottom gets overlocked. And I do the same thing to the second sleeve. Okay, then I impulsively decided that I wanted reflective iridescent patches on the back of the sleeves, like right at the elbow. And I kind of debated between stars and hearts, and I went with the hearts.
If you're interested in getting a couple of these iridescent reflective patches for your own projects, check out my Etsy page. It's linked below. So to figure out the placement of the patch, I just folded the sleeve more or less in half, and that's where I put the patch. So I needed to secure the patch onto the sleeve so that I could sew it on. But I didn't want to use pins to secure it because then it would just poke a bunch of holes in the heart, like my exes did to me. So instead I did a basting stitch around the perimeter of the heart to keep it in place so that I could sew it on. I used my sewing machine to attach the heart to the sleeve, and honestly it was such a pain in the neck, like the curvy parts of the heart. I pretty much hand advanced most of the way, and when I could finally sew a straight stitch, I used this little like piece of cardboard paper to help it move along. After I was finished, I pulled out the basting stitches, and I think it turned out pretty well. Now that the sleeves are done, it's time to assemble the bodice. So I took both of the pieces and I aligned them at the shoulders, and I put them such that the bodice is inside out. I pinned them at the shoulders. That's the part that I'm going to serge, and I'm also going to serge the edges of the mock neck. And here I'm serging the shoulders. I noticed that it's on the same desk. I just move my machines on and off of it. One day when I'll get rich, I'll have multiple sewing surfaces. And here I am serging the edges of the neck. I don't like how scrunched up it turned out. I should learn the settings of this machine. To turn the rectangle of the mock neck into a cylinder, I folded it over such that the outside of the fabric is facing in, or so it's like inside out. And I'm sewing a straight stitch along where the serged edges are. Then you want to open it up and ideally press these edges flat, but I'm not going to show you my ironing board because it's 14 years old, has stains, and smells like armpits. Now I'm going to prepare to attach the mock neck. So I'm going to fold over the cylinder in half such that the seam is hidden on the inside. Then I'm going to take the bodice and I'm going to fold it in half such that the shoulders are matched up. And I'm going to match up the seam on the neck cylinder with a halfway point on the back of the bodice. I'm first going to pin the cylinder at the location of the seam on the back. Then I'm going to pin the halfway point on the front. Then I'm going to fold it in half the other way and also pin it on the sides. And these 4 pins should be sufficient enough to keep it in place while I serge this seam. Then I hit up the serger and I serge that seam around the perimeter of the neck hole. And obviously I'm doing this with the sweater inside out. Turned out pretty good. Now it's time to attach the sleeves. So I'm going to take the bodice and I'm going to face it inside out on the mat. Then I match up the front of the sleeve to the front of the armholes on the bodice. And I'm going to begin the pinning of the sleeve to the bodice by first pinning them at the edges. And then I'm going to try to match up the perimeter of the sleeve hole to the curve of the sleeve and put some pins throughout. I'm gonna do the same thing for the second sleeve, and sorry you can't really see what I'm actually doing, but essentially you just want to match the curve of the sleeve to the curve of the armhole. And now I'm going to serge these seams. Then as usual, I go onto the serger and I serge. This is pretty boring. I don't know why I have so much footage of me serging. I could literally just use a snippet of this. Also, it's super dark, like you can barely see stuff. Alright, I'm gonna get better at this, I promise. I'm gonna learn how to use my camera equipment so that my videos are better. And this is how the sleeve looks like in the armhole now. At this point, I'm only a couple of steps away from finishing. I just need to close up the side seams, and then I'm gonna hem the sweater on the bottom. So to close the side seams, I literally just folded it over, and then I started pinning along the sleeves all the way down to the bodice. And the same thing for the second side. The most important thing here was to match up all the seams. So I made sure to put the pins in all these strategic places, like at the end of the sleeve and in the armpit. And while I was at it, I figured I would just even out the hem before I did the cover stitch here. And some more footage of me serging in the dark. Now I'm serging the sides. Yeah, just serging away. I always feel the need to record every single step of what I'm doing. And then I'm like sitting there with all this footage and I feel the need to put all of this footage in since I already recorded it. I don't think that's what people want. Alright, finally, now that I'm done with the sides, the last thing that I need to do is I need to hem the sweater at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to approximate how much I want to hem, and I'm going to go around the perimeter of the bottom edge of the sweater, and I'm going to pin that amount of fabric throughout. And I'm hemming a little bit less than an inch. To finish off the hem, I'm going to use my cover stitch machine again. If you don't have a cover stitch machine, you could just use a zigzag stitch on your like regular sewing machine. But this thing has been super clutch, especially for clothes made out of stretchy fabrics. Alright, almost done here. So one thing that you always have to do when you do a cover stitch hem is you have to tie the loose ends. Because if you don't tie them, the whole seam is going to unravel, and it's going to unravel quickly. And I'm finally adding the absolute last final touches for this sweater. So because the serge seam on the sleeves, like on the edge of the sleeve, looks a little raw and ugly, what I decided to do is to sew it down by hand. So I'm literally just sewing down the seam to lie flat along the sleeve, just around the cuff area. And after that step, the top is finished. Okay, I just put it on and I absolutely love it. I love how it fits on me. It's super soft, it's cozy, it's warm. It's like literally what I was envisioning when I started sewing it. Like, it is so perfect. I'm surprised about how much I like these little heart patches on the elbows. Like, they're so subtle, but they just add something super cute and like kind of romantic to it. And they hit like perfectly at the elbow, which is nice, fortuitous, because remember I just folded the sleeve in half. I was not like measuring where the elbow was. But yeah, overall super like it, actually love it. I think there's gonna be so many ways that I could wear this with all the various pieces in my closet. So let me show you really quickly what I'm wearing right now, and then I'm gonna put together some outfits. Alright, so I love how this top turned out, and for my first outfit, I put it together with my favorite skirt that I've made. So I made the skirt out of men's, like thrifted men's trousers, and I got on my Doc Marten boots and some knee-high socks. So overall, I love how this outfit looks. It kind of reminds me of that Akibi style. It's like a Korean brand that started this sort of like feminine but slightly grungy and subversive look. But yeah, I like this outfit. I feel pretty and comfortable in it. This outfit is kind of silly. I have this wool coat that I thrifted last winter for like $15, and I wanted to try wearing this wool coat with the top, but I kind of wanted to make it more casual, so I wore this skirt that I made back in 2009. And I have this adorable koala bag that I thrifted in Houston. I think it makes the outfit. Alright, this is just a chill casual outfit, so I paired this cropped sweater top with my thrifted pants that I got a while back at Texas Thrift. I got my messenger bag and my favorite palladium sneakers for comfort and style, obviously. Oh, and I also got on a thrifted belt that I modified to fit me. Yeah, just a chill outfit. Something I'd wear to like go get an oil change in my car or other useful tasks. And if it was cold out, I can make this outfit more winter appropriate with this shiny metallic silver jacket, because you know metallics are still in for 2024. This jacket was a gift from Kurt's mom. Shout out to Kurt's mom. What a great human being. Ooh, for this outfit, I wanted to make it a little fancy with this gold looking chain necklace. So this is an outfit I would probably wear to work, but I'd probably wear it like with like a tank top underneath so this skin is not showing. I got on some bootcut pants that I got at the Goodwill bins, my $5 Goodwill bag. Actually doesn't fit my work laptop. And I got on my $1 belt that I thrifted and some heel platform loafers that I got at Ross for like 17 bucks. Don't judge me. I also thought this top would look pretty good with like an oversized blazer. So I got my 50-cent vintage wool blazer. And I kept the chain and I got on some thrifted rings. I put on this outfit thinking this would be like a work outfit. This is way too spicy for work. I would not wear this to work. So I paired it with this gray mini skirt that I thrifted a while ago, some black tights, the same shoes, and the same bag. But yeah, I wouldn't wear this to work. I don't know, would I wear this on a date? It looks too businessy for a date and too, like, not work appropriate for work. I don't know. What I like about this top is that it's super versatile, so I kind of wanted to try it for an outdoorsy look. So here I'm wearing this cargo skirt that I made in November completely from scratch, like the zipper and everything. And I got on a thrifted belt, and I'm wearing this vest that I thrifted from a children's section back when I was in Sacramento. And for shoes, I got on my favorite Doc Martens. I'd wear this outfit on like a casual hike. Then I went back to my original inspiration for this top, and I thought I would like add some accessories and shoes and actually make this outfit wearable. So I added this pearly necklace that I made in December, and I also wrapped around my other fake pearl necklace around my wrist. And I recently thrifted this super cute Calvin Klein bag for like $10, and I've been like really wanting to have a reason to wear it somewhere. And these shoes, I've had them since 2007, so this is why you hoard your fashion, because things always come back into style. And then I was thinking, these outfits, they're just too straightforward. Surely I could put together something more ridiculous with the clothing that I have in my closet. So I present to you the Slavic woman. The irony of me LARPing as a Slavic girl is just so rich. So here I pretty much just took the previous outfit and I added this fake fur hat that I thrifted back when I lived in Boulder and a real fur coat that I scored at the bins. Yeah, I don't think I'd actually wear this outfit anywhere. This is just for fun. This is just for the video. Hope you like my creative styling efforts. Thank you guys so much for watching my silly sewing tutorial videos. I have another one that I'm already working on that I'll be posting in about 2 weeks. So until next time, bye.